In Pit Lane, proudly brought to you by Online Invent, websites, digital marketing and custom software.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of In Pit Lane, the final edition of In Pit Lane for 2023, coming to you from the RMITV studios here in the heart of Grand Prix City, Melbourne. Coming up a little bit later on the program. Look, it's really great to know that, you know, when you say having a bit of an end of year party, you invite your friends, and one of our friends come all the way from the United States, someone that a lot of you will know, one of the great characters of the Victorian motor racing scene over the years, all the way now from Van Nuys, California. He is George Vidovic. He's going to be joining us a little bit later on in the program. Also joining us, we've got our band tonight. Mr. Co are going to join us. They've released a brand new single today, and you're going to hear it here first. The Australian television premiere here a little bit later on in the program. But right now, sitting alongside of me for the last time this year, as a condition of his parole, it finishes tonight, is my very good friend, Mr. Craig Doc Gladigo. Doc, welcome to the last show.
Hello, viewers.
It's finally over.
It is. Well, it's all the carnival. The lights are still on the carnival, but we've got a great, massive show tonight with George. And hello, good sir. How are you? Hello, viewers.
A very formal introduction and a very restrained introduction from Mr. Gladigo. And speaking of restrained introductions, look, I always say it's a big weekend in motorsport. I've been saying that for 26 years. It wasn't a big weekend in motorsport. It was probably a medium-sized week of motorsport, but we're going to tell you about it anyway, as per usual, with the In Pit Lane Motorsport News. Ryan Woods won the final round of the Porsche Michelin Sprint Challenge, sweeping both races at Phillip Island last weekend. But that wasn't enough to stop arch rival Tom Sargent from taking the series title. 2 second-place finishes were enough to give Sargent the series win in a year where he finished either first or second in every race. Recent guest here on In Pit Lane, Courtney Prince, had another consistent weekend with a third and a fourth place finish to finish fourth in the series behind Aaron Shields.
A big weekend of two-wheel action at the Bend in South Australia as MotoGP star Jack Miller helped attract a big crowd to the track. But it was Yamaha rider Mike Jones who finished the year as the new Australian Superbike champion after a 6th place in race 1. Queensland rider Troy Herfoss on a Honda won the race, with Miller failing to finish after mechanical problems on the Ducati. Oh, they're problematic sometimes. With the title sewn up, Jones celebrated with a win in race 2, while Miller recovered to finish 4th, 1 place shy of 3rd placed Wayne Maxwell, who ended the illustrious Superbike career with a podium in his last race.
Well, Lewis Bates and Anthony McLaughlin have claimed the 2022 Australian Rally Championship after a win in the Coffs Coast Rally. Bates and McLaughlin needed only to finish the final power stage to claim the title after Harry Bates and John McCarthy crashed at Special Stage 12. The new champs clinched victory in the final stage, edging out New Zealand stars Hayden Padden and John Kennard by less than a second.
The recent crowds at this year's Australian Grand Prix has prompted a major redesign of the grandstands in an attempt to seat even more people next year. The 2022 Australian Grand Prix drew a record crowd with a 4-day attendance of 419,114 people.
And 2 hard-boiled eggs.
And 2 extra couple of hard-boiled eggs. The new redesigned grandstands will see an increase in seating capacity from 39,000 to 44,000, thanks to Brett with 2 boiled eggs as well. However, there's considerable anger from long-time fans who have already missed out on tickets. Fans took to social media on Tuesday, angry they were, to express their anger at the new system after missing out on tickets for race day, with many grandstands selling out within minutes like that. The 2023 Australian Grand Prix, which will take place on March 30th to April 2, with Formula 2 and Formula 3 joining the support bill for the first time. We'll also see the local debut of hometown driver Oscar Piastri, aren't we waiting for that, and the second round of the local Supercars Championship.
Well, it took two wheels to overcome the incredible speed of the stock Porsche Taycan R, but Michael Smith, riding a Honda CBR 1000RR, has won the Geelong Revival Sprint on the Eastern Beach foreshore on the weekend. Bikes dominated the top 10 shootout, with Nick McBride's road-going Taycan the only car to make the top 10 cut. McBride finished third fastest for the weekend, behind the bikes of Smith and Aaron Phillips, but that's still not too shabby for a road-going car straight off the showroom floor.
And racing finally returns to the streets of Adelaide this weekend with the return of the Adelaide 500. Aren't we waiting for that? Get excited, Australia. The event will see the end of an era as Holden has its last race in the series, aiming to improve on its current record of 615 race wins. Several teams are running special tribute liveries for the event, which is expected to attract 100,000 race fans over the course of the weekend.
Well, the Porsche Sprint Cup Challenge wasn't the only action on track at Phillip Island last weekend. It was Island Magic, the traditional send-off to the year of state-level motorsport.
The Mark III Mazda of Tony Groves held off a fast-finishing Monaro of Mike Robinson to win the annual Phillip Island 50k plate, the blue ribbon event of the local sports sedan season. Groves led all the way, but Robinson closed in the final few laps to challenge the Mazda right to the flag. In other races on the card, South Australian driver Adam Poole dominated the locals to win improved production. Matthew Hillier showed his class with a strong win in Formula Ford. Reef McCarthy won Formula V's, while Trent Grubel in his McGale Formula 3 headed an impressive 28-car Formula Open field to win the John Roxburgh Trophy.
Yeah, very impressive field in that Formula Open Series. Hope that takes off next year. It was great to watch. Now we're going to take a break here on In Pit Lane, the final edition for 2022. But when we come back, we'll be joined by our very special guest, the one and only George Vidovic. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Get the phone ringing for your business with website development and SEO services from Online Invent. Visit onlineInvent.com.au.
And as you can see, if you're watching us live on Facebook right now, the man himself, George Vidovic, is joining us.
Check out that 10-gallon on the top.
There he is. He's very nervous. He's very shy. We're hoping to bring him out of his shell tonight and see how he goes.
Check out the tan. That's not You
don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Right.
We're a free country.
Wrong country. No, China. China, you have to still do it.
Let's not go there, boys.
Let's not. More ways than one. More ways than one.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we're ready, but yes, by the way, thank you. I will say this later on during the main show, but we would not have been on air once again this year for another year, as I've said before, without the help of Roy Ellery and everybody at Online Invents.
They wouldn't have. No one would have had to put up with us all year.
Yeah, that's it. So if you're looking for someone to blame, don't blame us. Don't come and firebomb our house like friendly Geordies. Just make sure you have a go at Roy and Online Invent. But look, really, as I've said before, even though this is an all-volunteer thing, it does actually cost, believe it or not, this thing actually does cost money to produce, and without the support of people like Roy and Online Invent, we would not be able to come back on the program this year. So
and all the staff that works for him as well.
All the people
behind the scenes for Inline.
And also, we will also say that, as we've said before, if you're watching the In Pit Lane YouTube channel at all at any stage, remember, Roy is taking a lot of the old videos that we've had from over the years.
Oh, you can sit there just like a National Lampoon's Vacation at Christmas coming up soon, up in the attic like this with your vest, gloves on, and your tea cozy, and it's just fascinating. No, they are really good. They're brilliant. Everyone will be looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we've got lots of old shows we put up at the moment. We've got stuff coming up with Brad Jones. We've got a whole bunch of people from going back as far as our first couple of series on Optus Vision back in 1996, 1997. So stay tuned and watch that over the summer. And we will still have new stuff on the In Pit Lane YouTube channel over the summer as well, even though we're taking a break from Channel 31.
You haven't aged a bit.
Oh, yeah.
He's grown old enough to grow a goatee now.
I've grown old enough to grow a beard. Yes, I've grown a beard and an enlarged...
The hair dye's working. I don't know.
The hair dye's working. I've grown a beard and an enlarged prostate. So there you go. So I'm kicking it. I'm kicking it on all fronts.
And he can still drink like no tomorrow.
No, those days. I'm a four bottle a day man now. That's it. Okay, but anyway, so thank you for Roy and everybody at Online Event for making it possible. We'll get on to some of that a bit later on. But right now, I think we're ready to go back to the program and with our guest George Vidovic. Welcome back to In Pit Lane here on Channel 31 and the In Pit Lane YouTube channel. Now our guest tonight, well, he's a friend of the program going back to basically the beginning of this show. He's been a part of the Victorian State Series for many, many years, driving his self-made Python in the sports cars, in the Victorian Sports Car Championship. But over the past few years, he's had this amazing adventure where he basically sold up everything here, took off to the United States of America and is now following his dream, racing on the great circuits of the United States, not just in his Python, but also in a McLaren Can-Am car. We're going to find out about that in just a moment with our special guest, the one and only gorgeous George Vidovic. George, welcome back to In Pit Lane.
Mate, I am so pumped to be here. I can't thank you enough for inviting me for the last show of the year. I think it's going to be a fantastic show. The two guys, Doc and Brett, bring sensational news to... and Peter's giving us some symbols over there.
He's just telling us we've got as much time as we want to.
Okay.
George, you've been back.
For God's sake, don't say that.
No.
Let's get on to the fact you've just arrived back in. You've just arrived back. The last time we spoke to you was during one of our summer series. We were out at Declan Kirkham's place and we were having a chat to you. Let's start with this year. I mean, you've had some amazing adventures. Just a couple of them.
Okay,
what have been the highlights?
A lot's happened this year with us.
Give us the most recent one. You can feel it back. Give us Daytona a couple of weeks ago.
All right. Let's do Daytona. Daytona this year we did Daytona last year in 2021. Wanted to do Daytona for the super sprints there to just sort of feel out the track and see what it's like before we did the big one. And the big one we did this year was the Daytona Classic 24-hour. The Classic, it's 24-hour in name, but not 24-hour in nature as far as the cars are concerned. What they do at this particular event is they run 6 categories, A to G, that you run 1 hour each on track, and it's sort of one car goes out on track for an hour, then you come off for 6 hours and you go back for 1 hour. So basically you do 4 hours in the 24 hours. It's still daunting because you do a 7 o'clock start, then you do a 1 o'clock in the morning.
In fact,
start.
we've got some footage that we downloaded that you made available to us. So if Jace wants to run that footage from Daytona, in fact,
please do.
Here we are. This is you at night on the banking at Daytona.
Look, it's sensational here. So
it's professional.
This is coming on to turn 1. So you'll be coming into turn 1 here. Usually I'm pulling second gear into turn 1. And then you come into the infield. The infield's a road course, so to speak. So you've got turns 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6, and then 7 comes back onto the oval. So this is coming into turn 3.
How many Ks in total, George?
I think it's about 3.6 miles. I don't want to, I'm not, and I'm going to be talking miles, mate, because my brain's gone from kilometres to miles.
Go for it.
But it's a daunting track in the fact that it's quite slow around the infield, but once you get onto the oval, it's incredibly fast. I mean, what are
the forces like on both you and the car? I mean, because the car, I mean, it was never designed to be going around those banked ovals like that.
Look, it has, because what with Americans' help, the guys who have run there before, we've set the car up to do Daytona, and we did quite well. Last year on practice, I did a 2:23, dropped it down to a 2:03 on the last day of the weekend.
You did a sub 2 there. I think it's a 1:59. It says personal best.
Well, we did a 1:59 there, which was pretty good at a top speed of 176 miles an hour on the oval. This is the oval going into the bus stop. So you're holding 4th gear flat out here, and then there's a 3-2-1 brake marker before you go into the bus stop. And the bus stop is basically 3rd gear. You'll see me coming into the bus stop here. It's a left, a right, and then a left back onto the oval to go onto the main straight again. So here's the bus stop right here.
And that is a famous part of the circuit.
Are they the G-forces in the corner there too,
George?
Look,
it's not so much the G-forces. It's the car's under a lot of pressure with a lot of braking, heavy braking, trying to slow the car down from, say, 170 miles an hour down to about 60 miles an hour going into the bus stop. And then this is the top speed around here is about 176 going through the into turn 1, coming up to the start and finish line. So it was, it's probably one of the most exciting events that I've done this year, the Daytona 24-Hour Classic. We did a fantastic event at Road Atlanta with the Cobra, or with the McLaren.
Now tell us about the McLaren, because I knew we'd rapidly run out of time, but
Yeah,
let's talk about the McLaren.
It's a shame because I've got a lot to tell you, make your ears bleed, and make the viewers' ears bleed too, you know. The McLaren's an amazing car. It's an M6B. It's a 1969 Can-Am car with a 305 Chev with a 5-speed Hewland gearbox. To make a very long story quite short, I ended up buying it from a gentleman that ran it in the Supersport series in UK for a long, long time. The car was in partnership with Bruce McLaren in '69, did enter the Le Mans 24-hour in '69. Something happened, it didn't run it, and I'm digressing there. But moving forward, the car was then brought to the United States, raced at the 50th anniversary of Can-Am at Road America in Wisconsin. Once that happened, it was put to bed, and I actually found it as a barn find. So it hadn't raced for about 26 years, and the wheels were seized, and there were all sorts of things happening to the car, and I had a broker.
How'd you come across it? Yeah.
Well, I actually was chasing another car to buy, and I was always a Can-Am lover. I loved the style of car, and I loved the story of Bruce McLaren and the McLaren sports car and how he became the person he became, and the cars became what they became. And I always wanted one. So I got a broker onto it. He was based in Chicago, and he just put the feelers out and found this particular car, and this particular car was in Florida, and it was literally in a barn in Florida with wheels seized and oxidising manifolds because they were magnesium and the wheels were oxidising, so it was a pretty crazy find.
Now, just quickly, this is a very different car to the Python. I mean, anything different to anything you've ever... How difficult
Ford
was it?
versus Chev, actually.
Yeah, no, look... It's really funny. John Sidney, a very dear friend of mine, and a lot of people in the industry will know who John Sidney is, a famous
legend engine builder.
Legend engine builder. I rang him when I purchased the car, and I turned around and said, "Listen, John, I've got a few concerns about my ability to drive this Can-Am car, because I've been told they're widow makers. They're cars that need to be treated with a lot of respect." And I had these this within me saying, "Well, I don't know if I've got the ability to drive a car of this calibre." He basically turned around and he said, "Listen to me, you bloody wog." He goes, "If you can drive your Cobra 1010s and run that car around the track, this car will do everything your Cobra doesn't do." And just hung up on me. And I went, "Okay, fine." It's probably the most beautiful car I've ever driven in my life.
Well, it's fantastic. We'll catch up. I knew we were running out of time. We're going to take a break now here on In Pit Lane, but when we come back, we're going to have more from George Vidovic, and we'll be joined by our special musical guests, Mr. Co. You're watching In Pit Lane. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, can we get our band in for the bonus song, please? I knew we would have that. And Doc's going to disappear now because he's going to jump. He's got double duties. He's going to jump onto. He's going to jump onto camera, and we can talk a bit about. So, how many races have you done in the McLaren?
Well, the McLaren debuted at Buttonwillow, where I ran the McLaren to just shake it down and shake me in the car down. We ironed out a lot of bugs at Buttonwillow. We spent the day racing there, or just test driving the car there. Once the car was sorted out, and I was confident that I could run the car around the track without any fear of what the car was going to do with me, our first event was. A pretty amazing event, to be quite honest. It was Road Atlanta in Buford, Georgia. An amazing track.
Great track.
A track that's got a lot of different elevation changes to it. So we actually ran the car there for the first time. And to be perfectly honest and very proud of what I achieved, we pulled the third in our first race and pulled the second in our last race of the day on Sunday. So the car did exceptionally well, and it was a great debut to the car. After that event, probably 2 weeks later, because we were still on the East Coast, we decided, well, let's continue the journey on racing the car, and we ended up going to Barber Motorsport Park, which is in Leeds, Alabama. Very famous a track that was created by a dairy mogul by the name of George Barber. He's got probably he's got the biggest motorcycle collection in the world that's in the Guinness Book of Records. That's at the facility. It's like a four-story facility.
Which you would love. I mean, you're a bike guy.
We spent the whole day at the museum, and we were shown through his collection. It was absolutely amazing. And then it was time to run the McLaren there. The track was a little bit daunting for the McLaren because it's not really a high horsepower track. It's got a lot of corners. It's very technical. So we struggled a little bit, but nevertheless, finished the weekend. Out of 32 cars, we're probably in the top 10. We were 8th on the field. So that was fantastic. So to debut the car this year at Road Atlanta and Barber Motorsport was just a dream come true, mate. And this year we've got Watkins Glen, we've got Daytona to do there, we've got Sebring we're going to be doing, Indianapolis, Circuit of the Americas, Coda, Sonoma, Fontana.
You are living the dream,
yeah,
aren't you?
absolutely,
You are living the dream.
mate.
Hey, one thing that you'd get in America as well, there'd be a pretty good live music scene, I imagine, too.
Hey, mate, bluegrass in Oklahoma, Nashville. I love that stuff, and there's a great music scene there. The music scene's huge in Nashville.
Well, I'm not sure whether we've got any bluegrass tonight, but we do have some great music from our band, Mr. Co. They've got a new single coming out this Thursday. We'll give you more details about that later. They're going to take us out with that song, and now they're available. They're at Mr. Co. Melbourne on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, and as I said, keep an eye out for their debut single, Call Tonight, which is available on Spotify, and that's coming up a little bit later on in the show. They've also got a gig coming up, the Sunshine Social, in Sunshine of all places, on the 11th of December. But right now, as a bonus for all of you here on In Pit Lane, watching live on Facebook and on the In Pit Lane YouTube channel, this is Mr. Co. and Make You Feel All Right.
Baby, whoa, baby, whoa, baby, baby. I don't want to talk about it, I just want to ride upon it. I don't want to think about it, I just want to make you feel right. I want to go down on you right, I want to keep you feeling nice, touching your body all right. I want to feel you tonight. Oh, 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 oh. I want to see you in that light. Take it off with me tonight, baby. Oh, 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 oh. I want to see you in that light. Getting wild with me tonight. I want to keep you feeling right, baby. 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 I don't want to know about it, I just want to freak around it. I don't want to plan about it, I just want to play with you tonight. I'm gonna get you going right into the hours of the night, feeling your body alright, turning it up with you tonight. Oh, 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 oh. I want to see you in that light. Take it off with me tonight, baby. Oh, 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 oh. I want to see you in that light. Getting wild with me tonight. Want to keep you feeling right. Well, baby, and I want to keep it right. Oh, I want to please you. Oh, 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 to keep you right. To keep you right, baby. To keep you right. To keep you right, baby. All right, so everybody in the studio and everybody at home, I want you to clap along with me, all right? On the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Whoa, whoa. Just wanna make you feel right. 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 I just want you, baby. 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 I wanna keep you feeling right, baby. I wanna keep you feeling right, baby. I wanna keep you feeling right, oh baby, 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 baby. I wanna keep you feeling right, well, baby.
And that was Mr. Co. And make you feel, or I feel like I should be sitting back with a cigarette right now, or having a shower or something like that. But that was fun. Okay, the guys are going to stay with us and they're going to play us out a little bit later on at the end of the program with their brand new single, which is going to debut this Thursday, and that's called Tonight. That's coming up a little bit later on in the program. We'll give some time for everybody to get these cameras back into position, and for Doc to dust himself off and get back into position as well. And we'll continue with our conversation with our friend George Vidovic. Now, I will also say once again, as this is the last program here from the studio, thank you. As far as next year's go, look, it's too early in the. We certainly at this stage, I think the plan is to come back. I never know with these things. Somehow we always seem to. Somehow we survive. Somehow we fall into it every year. But I won't sort of promise anything, but we will be in Pit Lane on the In Pit Lane YouTube channel and the Facebook page. We'll definitely continue. Lots of stuff coming up over the summer. We're going to be getting out to Calder Park for some of the drag racing out there. Hopefully we can get to some speedway stuff as well.
Try and stop us.
That's easily done. Doesn't take that much to stop me nowadays. But anyway, there is stuff coming up. So if you haven't done it yet, if you're watching us right now on the Facebook page, please follow us on Facebook and also go to the In Pit Lane YouTube channel and like and subscribe. Also, click the notification bell as well, because that way, whenever we put something new up online, you'll see that as well. Also, we've got a couple of episodes of our pre-show, Full Course Yellow. We've got probably something this... once again, I will probably be either late or not on this week, because I have a very, very important business business to attend to on
Christmas
Thursday
parties.
night.
It's Christmas parties this time of year.
Tis the season to be arrested once again.
To be jolly. And by the way, just going back half a step, as Brett said, we'll be going out to the track. We will be out and about. If you are out the track, and he doesn't say this because he's too humble and too bashful to say, go out to the track and say hi and say, hey, Brett, thanks for the last 26 years. Let's see you again.
I shall ignore you completely, because I'm very anti-social. It's well known that.
Donations welcome.
Donations very, very well. Speaking of, and I will say donations well. Thank you to Mad Cow Mark and to the people who are sponsoring.
Box,
all the people who support us on Full Course Yellow. But people like Mark and we do have a Patreon page. I don't push it because I don't understand Patreon, but we do have people apart from Roy and Online Invent who make a contribution to keeping us on air, and we thank them very much for it. So it comes in very handy. Thank you, guys.
There's hundreds and hundreds of people that are on the Facebook page, thanks to Roy now as well.
There are now. Trust me.
They're keeping you honest, because you've had hit friends requests and so forth, and exactly like that. You're spot on there, George. Thanks, gorgeous. All the time, Roy is telling people as well, though, too, and to get the massive swell of people that have jumped on. We've had a lot of people, thanks to the work that Roy has done with Online Invent. We've had a huge increase in the number of people on our Facebook page, and we do thank him for that. So yes, if you're not doing it at the moment, if you like the page, that's great, but follow us on Facebook, and also please go to that YouTube channel, because the more people that like and subscribe and click the bell and also say that they like individual things, it helps with the dreaded algorithm. I don't know what it is. That's apparently a Latin word or something, I believe. Algorithm. Look it up in your funkin' waggles. Mathematics weren't our strongest point. So.
The mathematics was definitely not my strongest point. It was hard to find a strongest point with
However,
me.
the more you like, the more content you'll see, and the more we can provide.
That's what we hope for, anyway. Hey, speaking of more content, we better get on with the show. Pete.
George's champing at the bit here.
For the latest breaking news, general motorsport chat, and to have your questions answered, join the In Pit Lane crew live every Thursday night at 8:30 Melbourne time for our In Pit Lane kickoff show, Full Course Yellow. Be a part of the show live and ask your questions, leave your comments, and get ready for In Pit Lane on Channel 31 Melbourne at 9:30 p.m. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and even Twitch. Or catch up with the audio podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Google.
Yes, and Full Course Yellow will be continuing for a couple of weeks left. We've got Pete and some of the crew will be with you on this Thursday night before the final edition of In Pit Lane. But we will come back the week after for a special edition to sort of wrap up the year. And we'll probably come back sometime. Yeah, we'll take a few weeks break. We'll give you all a break and give us a break. But at some stage, probably mid-January, early February, sometime in 2027 or something, we will come back with Full Course Yellow. Now, our guest tonight on In Pit Lane for our final edition is George Vidovic. And George, you're heading back to the USA. Now, what day are you going back, perchance?
Well, Christmas Day, mate. So we're going to have 2 Christmases, one in Australia and one in the United States, because we're in the future, they're in the past. So, yeah, we're heading back on the 25th. We'll probably have a few weeks off there, prepping the car too, I think. And then we're off racing for the season, starts in January.
So where's the first meeting?
First one, January. Maggie, we were supposed to do Fontana, but that's been cancelled by the SVRA. We'll be doing what they call VARA University, which is the first race for VARA, that organisation. That's going to happen at Buttonwillow in Southern California. It's about 2.5 hours from Van Nuys. So we'll be doing Van Nuys, we'll be doing Buttonwillow. After Buttonwillow, we're going to NOLA, which I'm excited about. We've never been there before. That's going to be a bucket list. That's actually New Orleans. It's about 20 minutes from Bourbon Street. So that's going to be an exciting racetrack to go to Louisiana and do some racing with the McLaren there. Once we do that, we'll head back from New Orleans back to California, and we're running the McLaren there in March at Sonoma. So they're the beginning of the year for us with that particular car.
Can't let you leave the country without telling me, how's Python Bikes going? You started back in 2005.
Python Choppers, I spoke to David Murphy. That's the gentleman who purchased my business. He's doing gangbusters, doing really well. They do roadworthies and for motorcycles. He has a department there that does vehicle roadworthies. The workshop's going really well. Python Choppers is going steady. It's still going along. I'm really excited that the Python name is alive and well with David Murphy at TRJ Engineering. David was a long-time supporter of Python Racing. He used to do a lot of our fabrication work for us. And in saying that, he's actually fabricating some upper and lower control arms to the front of the car for me to take back with me. So I still have a connection with Python through David, through TRJ, so I'm excited about that. And yeah, Python Choppers is doing well. Thanks, Doc.
Well, we've got to say we're really excited to have you. As I said, we could no doubt talk all night. It's fabulous when we catch up with you, and hopefully we'll catch up more next year if we can. But one way or the other, and who knows, someday we might actually get over there. So I'll meet you over there for a Budweiser or whatever it is they drink over there.
I can't thank In Pit Lane enough, mate. Thanks for having me on the last show. It's fantastic. Thanks to my US sponsors. Thanks to my US guys watching the show. Thank you very much for supporting me over there in the United States.
Yes, to all those people watching us in the United States at the moment, howdy.
That's Daniel Ricciardo, howdy, cheesy grin.
Now, we're very friendly with Australians. Now then, as I said, last program, I'm getting the wind up already. It's a real hassle because I've got so many people to say thank you to, and I hope Channel 31 understand. Thank you. It's been a really, really tumultuous year for a lot of us. Thank you to all of the crew, the RMITV crew who have come in all this year, all of the volunteers, everybody who's made a contribution to this program. I say this every single year. This is a team sport. We can't do it by ourselves. Doc and I get up here in front of the camera. There's a whole bunch of people up there behind in the dark who are making this possible. So
there's no camera on me right now, but trust me, this guy keeps us all gelled together. He is a sensational producer.
I've got the pictures. I distribute the drugs, so yeah, they don't get away with much. Now then, coming up now, speaking of one part of our show that we've really been proud of over the years is our music, and joining us tonight, our band to take us out for the final show of the year is Mr. Co, and they've got a brand new single coming out which was released today. It's actually called Tonight, and if you'd like to hear it, it's available on Spotify, and you can also go to their social media on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc, etc. But as I said, they released their single called Tonight, and this is the Australian television premiere. So please welcome Mr. Co and Tonight, and for all of us, good night from In Pit Lane. Here's Mr. Co, Tonight.
Dreamt that I belong. Then you came and woke me. You showed me how to even fall so softly, trusting that you will touch me. How the moon looks so bright, only with you. So hold me, take me, tell me that this is real. Oh, so real. The love that I feel inside that keeps me feeling right. Say this is real. Oh, so real. You've got me floating high. Please just hold me tight. Tonight, tonight. Please just hold me tight. All those nights I kept searching for the right kind of sign, until the day that I opened my eyes and saw you there. How the moon looks so bright, only with you. So hold me, take me, tell me that this is real. Oh, so real. The love that I feel inside that keeps me feeling right. Say this is real. Oh, so real. You've got me floating high. Please just hold me tight tonight.